Hello everyone, I'm Claire Marie B and welcome to my channel. Today in this video I want to take you through my flip through of my 2021 bullet journal. If you're brand new to bullet journaling, you don't know what this is about, oh my goodness, you're missing out so much. And you're going to have a lot of fun if you start to bullet journal. I'll pop a link to my 2022 yearly setup and that'll give you a bit of an idea around how to get started. Today, what I'm going to do is take you through both of my bullet journals for 2021. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I spend about 6 months for each journal. So this is the first half of the year, which I've done in a scribble and dot journal. And this is the second half of the year, which is in an archer and olive journal. If you're wanting to watch a video about the different journals and which one's the best for you, I'm going to be doing a video on that soon. So I won't cover about the individual journals today. Today we'll just focus on the content. So we're going to start with this one, which was the first half of the year for me, starting in January. Now, before I open this up, I haven't looked through everything since the beginning of the year. Since I closed this journal in June, I haven't gone to it. And when I set up this channel and started the journals, I wanted to track everything, or kind of show my journey of how my art and my journaling, my creativity evolve. So I'm expecting the first half of the year not to be as good as the latter half of the year. So stay with me on the journey through the journal. But personally, I think what's going to be nice for me to see today is hopefully some artistic growth from the start of the year to the end of the year. So let's dive right in. Okay, so in the scribble and dot journals, as you can see, it already comes with an index and a key. As you can see, I didn't fill in the whole of the index. So this was my 2021 setup with a Disney quote: "If you can dream it, you can do it." I also set up a memory wish list. So this was after 2020. I'm sure everybody had a lot of things they really wanted to do that were cancelled. So I set up a 2021 wish list, which had some real basics on there. Ice cream on the beach and get dressed up at some point and have a trip with the kids, and New York. I was supposed to go to New York with my sister. I'm sure there'll be more on that soon. This is my future log. For the second half of the year, I didn't have the colours in the top. What I started to do here was, when I did a monthly theme, I used the theme colour and then put that across the top about what the theme colour was, and then I stopped. Part of that was because I forgot all about this when I moved into the journal, so lesson was learned on that. This is my goals for the year. I had a few different goals that I wanted to do, and this is my check it out page, which had my films, TV shows, books, and other bits and pieces that I wanted to have a look at throughout the year. My grid guide, and then a future task list. I found it easier, I thought I did, to have for each month a little block, because there was things I was going to need to do later on in the year and put them in there. I evolved that in the second journal. So here's my January. I was so ambitious. I decided to do watercolours, having never really used watercolours before, and I did this mask. I really did like it. I liked using the different colours. I thought it was something really different, and if you watch my recent videos, you'll know I love doing different golds in there, and I felt like this gold really popped. These are Kaleidro paints. You'll find links to those in the descriptions of my videos where I've used them. And I had some fancier scroll writing. I really practiced my writing this year, and my lettering, sorry. So I do hope that that's improved a little bit as well, and I've kind of found my own style with it as I've gone through the year. This is my calendar spread, which I think I got wrong when I wrote that out, and my first page of trackers. What I liked about this is I did kind of little jewels around the outside, so yeah, that was a bit different. Had my word a day, and I was tracking my steps at that point too, and at one point I was doing a Ponzi. This was my brain dump, as I didn't like the term brain dump. There's some growth sections, and then these are my weekly spreads for January. Feels like such a long time ago now, and I definitely think I've evolved my style and my letter writing a little bit. I created a baking list, but then needed to lose a lot of weight all year, so I really didn't add to that. And then this is my little reminder for myself about giving my mind a break. I don't know about you guys, but I massively overanalyze things. February, yay! I loved this spread. It felt like, I don't know, I just felt like it really clicked and it was quite cohesive throughout. I loved kind of the zigzag, cross-checker pattern, the random hearts. I really liked the colour scheme, the washi tapes, and I used here translucent paper or tracing paper, whatever you call it, to stick these bits down, which was a great idea in theory, but sticking them on the white didn't necessarily work. But yeah, I really did like doing that. But you'll see I use it later on in the spread. And this is my calendar spread. And some video notes and planning. You'll see as I go throughout, I don't use the whole of my journal all the time. So please don't think that I fill everything in and I'm, so dedicated to it all the time. There's some blank spots, you'll see. These are my trackers for the month. And this is my Ponsieve. You can see here that there's so much space, so you'll see why I ended up changing it later on as I move throughout the year. Again, I used the tracing or translucent paper here, and I think that worked really well over the top of the hearts. So that was a bit of a lesson learned to myself. If I'm going to use that paper, put it over the top of something colourful. Here was some doodling around the different titles for February, and I kept up with my word a day, logged my steps. And then these were all of my weekly spreads, and this brilliant quote from RuPaul. I'm sure a lot of you recognise that. That was a really popular post on my Instagram this year, so I know a lot of you recognise that quote. So it's a blank page. This is where I've used it for notes. We were playing a game with my in-laws and doing it all over Zoom, so that's that. And then my thank you for 1K. I'm so blown away. This is on my Instagram. I just couldn't believe it to get to 1K, so I really appreciate every view, follow, like, comment, watch, subscribe. They really do mean the world to me, so yeah, thank you very much for that. March, sunshine yellow. Oh, it was so nice to bring in the yellow in March. I love daffodils. That's my favourite flower, so I really wanted to do a spread with the daffodils. And this yellow paper I really like to recycle as well, as you know. I like to keep things and use them in a different way. So this was paper kind of wrapping around a product, and I just cut that out and used that across the spread as well. So yeah, this is my springtime March spread. So my trackers this month were the petals coming away from the flowers and the leaves, and my grids as well. I've been asked a couple of times where are these from. So this is Notebook Therapy. They're a great company who have little stencils and block stamps, and these are really useful if you've got a 5-week month just to stamp those. Obviously it is ink, so when you're using a colour over the top, some of that ink can run a little bit. Just a little tip for you. But yeah, I really like those, and they're a lot faster than drawing everything out. This is my word a day. I did a Dutch door this month, which I thought was kind of a little bit different to do a Dutch door like that for me. And as you can see, I promptly didn't fill in the steps. And I didn't complete an awful lot of March. I had lots of things going on. So there was a bit more blank spacing, and I didn't do too much throughout March. It got a little bit bare. As I would normally have used up all of these spaces. On to April. This is one of my more arty ones, I guess you could call it. I like doing prints and then shaking it up a bit and doing something a little more arty. So I did an Easter wreath and my little bunnies. I love the bunnies. And wood was a real focus as well for me in April. And obviously Easter eggs, some cute Easter eggs. So that's my calendar. As you can see, word a day, I got to the 24th and then gave up the rest of that month. My trackers were Easter eggs. Again, I didn't fill in the 30th. I clearly wasn't feeling any sort of a mood on that day, so I just left that one blank. And the Ponsieve, so you can really see the trend here that's forming, where I draw the Ponsieve out, I have the best intentions, and then end up leaving it blank. So rather than having a double page spread, I reduced it this month just to a single page spread, and as you can see, I still didn't really do it. So yeah, that's why we changed that later. And on to my weeklies. And May. So here's some of my doodles for my titles for May. I'm a May cover. Oh, I loved doing May. I really did. I think what I loved about of course I loved the gold. I really loved using the gold, and it's really hard to photograph the gold though. That's one of the things that I've really struggled with this year. So if anyone knows how to kind of get the gold photographing a little better, please let me know. But what I just liked about this was it just felt really simple, and I liked the fact that it was a print as well. I really do tend to sway towards nice bright colours and print. My calendar I did as a smaller single page calendar, and my word a day. I completed it that month, yay. My Dutch doll for the month was over my mood tracker. This was something brand new for me as well. I like to try and do something new each month just to then see what I like more and evolve everything. And this was, I did a wheel, so that was, as I said, a bit different for the month. My Ponsieve, I reduced it even further onto the back of that, and as you can see, I just did the one. And I have another blank page there as well. So again, not using everything up. These were my weeklies for May, so keeping the leafy theme throughout. I loved using the purple as well and the pink. I do think purple is definitely my favourite colours, but I love this colour combination. I try not to do it too often because I don't want you all to get bored of it. But it does keep popping in there. Okay, we're on to June. June, yay! Oh, my Dumbo quote. Dumbo quote from Stephen King. I just loved this quote. It was the feathers, it was just everything about the quote. And also the fact that I just didn't see that quote coming from Stephen King, I guess, really. This was my feather theme. In June, I just felt like using feathers and doing teal. I know it's not necessarily the most summery of colours, but I think I just wanted to have something a little bit different where everything had got quite summery. And I had this cool washi tape that I found in my drawer as well, which was like a teal shiny colour, and that really lent itself well. So I think I started with that washi tape and then found the right pens. These pens that I used for this, they are brush pens, but they're Arteza, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, sorry. And they've got really fine brushes, multiple brushes at the end, so they were perfect for drawing feathers, in case you were looking for something that has fine brushes. Again, I kept my calendar to a single page this month, and my one word a day, another trend. I sort of stopped it at the last week of the month. I always had a lot going on. This was my trackers. So my mood tracker was all the different feathers. That's my other trend, as you can see. I'm a very, very positive person, so it's quite rare that things for me are on the sad and angry. I had about a 5-point scale when I first started doing these, and I reduced it down to 3 because I'm either sort of a little bit sad or grumpy or just feeling a little bit down or a bit meh. The rest of the time I'm quite happy and productive. So there we go. My Ponsieve, yes, I used it a little bit more this month. Tried to get into the routine of filling in a little bit more. So you'll see for my weekly spreads, I include the week where the most of the days fall in that particular month. So for June, Monday was the 31st of May, so that's included in this week, but the whole layout is in June because the majority of the week actually falls into June. At the end of June, you'll notice that there's 3 days, the 28th, 29th, 30th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so actually that week falls into my July setup instead, so I have my 4 weeks at the beginning of June. That's my June weeklies. And then I had a holiday in the New Forest, so I decided to do a little spread for this. It was the first little holiday and breakaway for ages, thanks to the pandemic. So I wanted to kind of log on here where I've gone to, where I want to go, things not to forget, where I'm going to be staying. So I really enjoyed doing this. This was something really different for me, and it started a bit of a trend of doing that for me. So that's the end of my bullet journal number 1, doing the first half of the year in my scribble and dot journal. On to journal number 2. So this is my Archer and Olive journal, which I then use from the beginning of July through to the end of December. So in the first journal, I had a lot of the yearly setup in there, so I didn't need to have that as much in here. I carried a few things over, but promptly didn't use them. So this was my setup page, a little bit of lavender, bringing in the purple obviously, and my 2021, my grid guide, my memory wish list for the second half of the year, which I didn't actually fill in. And this is the future log. Because I'd already done the first half of the year, I only needed to transfer over the second half. So this is the second half of the year going in. This was my check it out, and on my goals page, I liked the goals that were already in my previous journal and didn't feel I needed to repeat those, and I still had a way to go to get them. That's why this didn't end up being populated. I'm also not brilliant at using my journal for goals, which of course is okay. A bullet journal is what you want to make it of your own, but I do want to get better in that area. So in my yearly setup for 2022, I've tried to push this section a little bit more around goals and reflection. I'm probably not going to go any further than that with it, as I don't think I need to have a great big deep dive every year, but a nice light touch and review what's happened and what I want to achieve in the next year is always good. This is my check it out page, so some podcasts, no books I wanted to check out because I have such a list that I already want to read, and I'm just not getting to them, so I need to do a little bit better on that side of things. And these are the shows I was watching. I set this up a bit of a different way. I've tried many different ways of tracking this and logging this, and then I think I've now found my groove, which I'll show you later on in my journal. This was a really useful page for me. This was looking ahead in the next year when I booked concert dates or I had things going on or already advanced dates or things that I needed to do. I started to make a list of it. So I'm going to be repeating this definitely because I've already got things booked in for 2023. So I need to start logging them in my 2022 journal. This is my July. Oh, I loved the bright colours of this. These were my beach huts. I found these after I searched for them on Google, and yeah, I just really liked doing this sort of pastel-y and bright colours and having something a little bit sunshiny and different, and I enjoyed doing it across a double page as well. That was nice, not to have the pressure of the quote, because I sometimes find that page a little bit challenging for me to create. This was my calendar for the month with my Dutch door. I was super excited July because I was going home for a week, or where I grew up, which is at the seaside. And I was going with my fella and also my stepson. So it was really nice. I was super excited. Obviously my fella's been with me, but the little one has never been with us. So I was just really excited for him to see where I grew up. And that's why it's all a beachy theme. This was my planner section for the month and my mood tracker. I really enjoyed doing my mood tracker like this. I think I'm going to bring that back in some capacity in the future because I really liked that. And these are my trackers. As you can see, I did not do very good at taking my vitamins, and I didn't even put an 8th one in. so my habits could have been better in July. So this is the new Pensieve that I created, and I love doing this now. So instead of having like a brain dump, this is now my memory spread, and I started to include this every month throughout the rest of the year, where I was taking a couple of pictures for the month. Word a day went onto here, films that I've watched or TV that I watched, and then other bits and pieces, just little memories and notes that I want to keep for the month. Sometimes good, sometimes not so good. But yeah, I just really liked doing this much more than a Pensieve, and this has now kind of become a bit of a regular monthly thing for me, which I'm very, very happy about. So that's my July memories. And then these are my weekly spreads for July. So again, the majority of this week falls in July, so that's why the end of June is actually in my July weeks. You normally find that you then have 4 weeks, so it works out quite even. A couple of months obviously end up with the 5 weeks. That might just be a little bit different to someone else's who does the whole month in a month. So as you can see, July does end up with 5 weeks for this month. So this was my trip back home. I got to go to Hogsmeade Station, which is really cool. We went on some pedal boats, and yeah, it was just really, really great. It was a lovely, lovely week. This is my NYC list. I had a trip booked with my sister to go to New York in October 2019. That then got pushed to exactly the same time, 2020. So I'd started to write down, I've been a few times to New York and absolutely love it. It's one of my favourite places in the whole world. She's never been, and that's why I was so excited that we were going together. So I started to list out what it was, where we were going to go, what we were going to be doing. Sadly, the pandemic had other ideas, and unfortunately the USA didn't open the travel borders until after the date of our travel, so we didn't get to do New York. However, I get to keep this list and we will do it in the future. This was just some random note-taking that I did for my garden. I like to include if I've done a really good recipe or I've baked something that I really liked. We had friends around for dinner and I did a pineapple upside down cake with pina colada ice cream, and oh man, it was immense. And this is where I baked a coffee and walnut cake for my sister-in-law's birthday. So yeah, that's what that is. August. My little doodles for my August titles. I decided to go with a purple and yellow colour theme for August. These are my gift ideas getting ready for Christmas. And here we go, my August spread. Oh man, I loved August. Looking back at this, again, it's a print. So I'm definitely seeing a trend for me that I love a print with bright colours. I really liked doing the pinboard effect as well for August. It's the first time I've done that. I don't know why I haven't done that a little bit more, but yeah, so that may make a comeback. Watch out for that in 2022. And Happiness is the Best Makeup from Drew Barrymore. Could not agree more. So this is my August calendar spread. And my planner, as you can see, I've used things a little bit more here. I'll always include a to-do list for the month. I find that really, really helpful. I don't always do it, but having it there is really helpful. This is my habits and mood tracker. Again, something a little bit different for me in terms of the mood tracker setup. I enjoyed doing that. And I kept it just to the 3 things because that just made the most sense to me. Here's my August memories page. So we went and did an Alice in Wonderland Hunt the Cheshire Cat treasure hunt. And then these are my August weeklies. On to September. I decided to go autumnal, leafy, brought the gold back, some nice autumn colours. This was my calendar spread. My trackers, so I have my mood tracker and then my habit trackers here, and then the content was on this side, so that when you flipped over that side, that's the Instagram content that went with that bit. Kind of thought I'd been quite clever with that. These are my September memories. So I went into London and saw a friend performing in Mary Poppins the musical, and also I'm getting married next year and I got to choose my dress, so my friend came with me to help me choose my dress. And these are my weekly spreads. And I did some weight loss healthy eating trackers as well, which has really helped me to keep focused on diets and things. And I did a big IKEA shop, so I made myself a nice list in advance and just did some brush pen swatches with my Tombow and was practicing a little bit of my lettering as well. So this is my October. Oh, I really liked doing October. It was a bit stressful though. I used the blackout paper, which I loved. I really enjoyed using the green, and I got these pens from Chalkola, which, as you can see, kind of look a little bit like chalk, and they dried brilliantly and so bright. They massively pop on the page. What was a little bit stressful about it was you can't draw out and sketch on the black paper, which I really didn't think through in advance. So everything that I did had to be just done from hand. And yeah, I like to draw out in advance. So there we go. This is my calendar spread, my words, word of the day, and my tasks that I had to get done for the month, my TV and film. This is my habits. Again, something a little bit different. I haven't done charts and graphs like that before, so it was nice to do something different. And again, you can kind of spot the trend a little bit. I've been up in this happy area a lot. This is my Instagram planner, some notes, a few memories. We went to visit some friends, which was a whole heap of fun in October. We went doing some gaming and escape rooming and things like that. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. These are my weekly spreads for October. Here's a little bit more of our gaming weekend. November, back to a nice bright print. So I wanted to have poppies for November, as we have Remembrance Day in November, and I really love poppies as well. So here's a bit more of my memories page. I went to visit my nieces in Sweden, and we went to Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen. And then these are my weeklies for November. And finally, Edinburgh. So this was my Edinburgh spread, which was going to be a little bit like my Scarborough trip, my New Forest trip. Sadly, Edinburgh didn't happen. The trains were all cancelled because of the storm, so that didn't happen. December, yay! So these are my baubles. You can't see it super well. When I bend the page, I used a gold pen on this. It wasn't as good as the Kalyro paints that I've used in my previous spreads. And I know now, obviously, it looks yellow and purple, and it photographed like it was yellow and purple as well, but I swear it is a gold pen. I really liked doing this with the baubles, but it was just that it was too intricate to use those pens, to use the pen on the baubles, so it just didn't work like that. Here's my calendar, my Insta. As you can see, I've just got a few more days left of December to fill in, but these are my memories so far for the month, so I've got a little bit left to do. And then my weeklies. And this was my thank you. I hit 2,000 Instagram subscribers and 1,500 YouTube subscribers, which is just unbelievable. I'm just so blown away by it and all the support. And I love the group that we've created. And yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm just so blown away. And these are my weekly spreads for December. And this is my final one. My fella gave me this sticker. He got some stickers and I stuck that into my journal as well at the end of the month. So that is my final flip through. Thank you so much for joining me for 2021. I look forward to sharing everything in 2022. Don't forget to tag me in your Instagram creations. I love seeing all of that. And if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe and you'll be notified when I release new content. Have a fantastic new year and I'll see you all in 2022. Bye.